Amnesty International says that thousands of domestic workers from Indonesia are being duped into working in Hong Kong by brokers and agencies focused entirely on profit. The report says the workers are being overcharged, underpaid, and often have no way of getting out because huge fees keep them from leaving their employers. It also claims the governments of Indonesia and Hong Kong are aware of what's going on and are turning a blind eye. Now, I spoke earlier with a representative from Amnesty International, as well as a former domestic worker. Take a listen.
I was very surprised at the level of exploitation and the degree of impunity in which the recruitment agencies conducted themselves. So there was a lot of deception and there was trafficking of a significant number of Indonesian migrant domestic workers to Hong Kong.
So is the issue that there are no laws or that existing laws are not being enforced?
There are definitely laws in place in Hong Kong and in Indonesia. The problem is that implementation is poor, if not non-existent.
So I want to bring Sringatin in now. So Sring, you've been working as a domestic worker here in Hong Kong for 12 years. What has your experience been?
I have a bad experience before because lack of the information come from the recruitment agency because there is no information for the newcomer from our government itself. So I just come to Hong Kong as the domestic worker, live inside of the house without, didn't know anything, the information, if I get, I have the victim of underpayment in Hong Kong and then I want to report, but I don't know where I need to report and I don't know who I need to make a call.
Now, Amnesty says without the governments of Indonesia and Hong Kong stepping in to help, there is simply no way out for the domestic workers except to pay huge amounts of money, and that keeps them in a cycle of working.
The debt. So they are saddled with crippling debt, and when they face an abusive employer, I think in most situations they would leave. Yep. But they can't leave because their first priority is to pay back that debt to the agency. And the only way they can do that is through continuing to work.
Both Hong Kong and Indonesia say they've taken steps to clamp down on recruiters. They also say they've been distributing information letting domestic helpers know how and when to file a complaint. In its statement to CNN, the Hong Kong Labor Department said in 2012 it revoked 2 employment agency licenses, one of which was due to overcharging. It added, quote, "The issue of overcharging Indonesian domestic helpers of agency fees back in Indonesia is beyond our jurisdiction and should be tackled at the source by the country of origin." The Indonesian consulate said it had an annual system for evaluating and accrediting agencies in Hong Kong. It said it has punished dozens of agencies for misconduct and had banned nearly 200 employers from hiring domestic workers.